Naperville, Illinois, on the banks of the DuPage River as we are ready for the final girls soccer game of the 2016 season. And that means we've got the Class 3A state championship here at North Central College, and it pits the two-time defending champions from New Trier against a team out of Collinsville who has just one loss on the season. Let's take a look at the brackets and how they got here. For New Trier, a 4-0 win over Huntley in the semifinals as they just continue to cruise through the postseason. On the bottom of the bracket, Collinsville had to score in the second half to tie Glenbard. Then they won it in overtime on Friday night in the last semi of the day, and a 2-1 overtime win. We welcome you inside the field here at Benedetti Worley Stadium as we're ready for the Class 3A title game between New Trier and Collinsville. New Trier, a two-time defending champion, and as we mentioned, Collinsville just one loss on the year, and it didn't come to a team from Illinois. I'm Nathan Believa alongside Brian Bito, and Brian, two teams who are ready to take home that top trophy. New Trier's done it twice in a row. Collinsville got fourth here last year, and now they meet for it all.
Yeah, absolutely. So you look at these two teams, they both come in cooking. New Trier, you mentioned, two-time defending state champions. They have yet to allow a goal in this entire state tournament. Collinsville, on the other hand, you mentioned the fourth place finish a year ago. They're unbeaten in their last 19. We
take a look at our key players for today. For Collinsville, the K-Hawks, it's the game-winning score from yesterday, and that's Emily Holton.
Yeah, Emily Holton, the hero from last night's semifinal win. 25th goal of the season to go along with 15 assists on the year.
For New Trier, they got tons of experience, but we're going to look at the Gatorade Illinois Player of the Year and Kelly Maday.
And she's heading to the University of Illinois. She leads the team with both 16 goals and 17 assists, second on the all-time assist list at New Trier.
Can Collinsville dethrone the champs, or will New Trier three-peat? That's the question. Starting lineups in the opening kickoff. Coming up next from North Central College in Naperville and the Class 3A Girls Soccer Championship. Back after this on CSN Chicago.
The IHSA is achievement, focus, creativity, spirit, champions. The future plays here, the Illinois High School Association.
The IHSA State Championships on Comcast Sportsnet are brought to you by Country Financial. Visit countryfinancial.com. Country Financial will help you build a plan with insurance and financial solutions to help you get where you want to go. Call your local rep at 1-866-COUNTRY or visit countryfinancial.com today. Welcome back to Benedetti Worley Stadium in North Central College, Naperville, Illinois. Nathan Believa alongside Brian Bito as we are ready for the Class 3A Girls Soccer State Championship. Let's take a look at our lineups, and first it's the two-time defending champion, New Trier Trevians, 25-3-1. They will have in goal, as usual, Danny Kaufman with Sam Urban, Sydney Parker, and Kate Sedera, along with Caroline Iserloth in that back row. Avery Schultz, Celia Fry, along with Haley Yamada in the midfield. And then on the attacking side of that midfield, number 20, Bina Scipi. Kelly Maday, who we talked about in the open, and Natalie Laser are up front. For Collinsville, they line up front with Courtney Martin, Taylor Devine, and Emily Holton, who had the game winner yesterday. Alana O'Leary, Andrea Furker, Hannah Liljegren, and Emily Knabel in the middle, with Daly McEwen, who had a goal yesterday, Danielle Knutson, and Chase Richardson in the back, and Julie Sheeter is the keeper. Collinsville gets it down right away, and right through the goal mouth, and just like that, Brian, 15 seconds in, we almost had a goal, and they still got it in the box. So it doesn't look like any nerves early for Collinsville.
That was the earliest chance I think I can ever recall in any game I've seen, less than 15 seconds in. A very good opportunity for Collinsville, and New Trier somehow able to keep it still scoreless.
You mentioned the long win streak for Collinsville coming in. They lost to St. Louis Visitation Academy on April 2nd, 2-1. 6-1-1 against teams from Missouri this year, 15-0-1 against teams from Illinois. They also got a win over Brookfield West out of Wisconsin. in a shootout. Peter Stavropoulos is our official today, with Dylan Kramer and Chad Formia on the sidelines, and Tony Martinez is the fourth official for this Class 3A state championship. Collinsville 22-1-2 with an overtime win on Friday night in the semis, and New Trier 25-3-1 for the two-time defending state champions. And you look at what you have to do to get through 2 regional wins, 2 sectional wins, a super sectional win, and 2 wins at state. They're going for their 21st postseason win in a row.
That's not bad. That's a full season worth of wins. A great season worth of wins for New Trier, and we know they're obviously not going to have any nerves either. You mentioned Collinsville with this group being here the last couple of years. They did graduate a couple from last year, some of their top scorers, but they've picked up right where they left off. So it's tough to say who would have be the favorite beforehand, just based on how well these two teams have played throughout the entire state tournament.
The one thing to watch for Collinsville, they play both of their goalies, Jolie Sheeter, Morgan Lurch. Sheeter's a senior. She's played 25 games and has allowed 12 goals. Morgan Lurch has played in 25 games and allowed 8 goals. In the semifinal, not only did they alternate first half and second half, but the overtime is not sudden death in IHSA. It's 2 10-minute periods with a break in between. They alternated those 10 minutes as well. So expect to see every stop we have as far as a halftime or overtime goes, the K-Hawks to switch keepers. Take a look at the Collinsville sideline. Clay Smith, who is an alum, played his college soccer at McKendree in his 6th year, 106 wins, 28 losses, 10 ties, a 4th-place trophy last year. They had to travel 250 miles up to Joliet for their super sectional, got a win, and had to travel a little further to come back to Naperville. But hey, no complaints at all when you're coming to state for a 2nd year in a row from Collinsville down by the St. Louis area, one of the last exits before you cross the Mississippi River. And heading down this right sideline, Emily Holton, who had the game winner in overtime, can't get to it, and out for a goal kick for New Trier. And on the side for the Trevians, it's Jim Burnside, 19 years, 432 wins, 333 with yesterday, 69 losses, 28 ties. He was a goalkeeper at New Trier, class of 1986, and they have outscored opponents this year 94-7. They have 8 trophies, 5 firsts, 1 second, 2 thirds, and he's been a part of all of that at New Trier. They have made it to the sectional final at least in 13 straight seasons.
That's just ridiculous. I can do nothing but laugh at how unbelievable that is, and how remarkable it is, just with the new generations of players and talent coming on in. And
13 years. That's four
cycles, rotations.
You know?
Yeah, unbelievable. And, of course, we've already mentioned a couple of state championships the last 2 years. And I thought it was funny you talked about Collinsville, one of the last exits before you cross over into Missouri and the St. Louis border, as we get a look at. That's a pretty deep throw in there.
Yeah, it was fun to watch in the semifinals yesterday. That's Chase Richardson, number 10, the senior, who's headed to Missouri S&T to continue her career. But with the flip throw, and she puts it from the sideline right into the goal mouth, and it's a big weapon. It's like having all these extra corner kicks when you get the throw-ins down, and it's fun to watch. We'll see it throughout this game, because any throw-in that's down deep in attacking territory, it's going to be Chase Richardson putting the ball right on the ground and flipping on through with that throw. And not only is it an extra weapon, it's fun to watch.
It's fun to watch. If I tried that, that'd be in the DuPage Medical Center right now if we had an issue like that. But
we should have had you try that for the Open. That could have been the Open of the show.
Oh, my. Yeah, that would not be good for anyone to see me attempt that. But I was going to finish the note about, it's funny, Collinsville being all the way down there. We're doing the Illinois State Championship game. New Trier is one of on the North Shore. It's funny, these two teams encompass almost the entire geography of the state of Illinois. So it's fun to see these two teams square off when normally they would obviously probably not see each other very often.
Yeah, I mean, unless you get somebody over in the opposite corner up on the Wisconsin border, whether it's Waukegan on this side or is Richardson's going to launch this almost all the way back. That was 30 yards, by the way. She threw that from the 40 of the football field, and it got right about to the 10.
That's unbelievable.
So about as far as, I could throw a baseball.
The quarterbacks can't even throw it 30 yards sometimes.
And we cross in. New Trier gets it into the box. And up with the distance between these two teams, and you're right, unless they play here in state, they're not likely to meet anywhere else. And you look at the schedules they play, and the only for Collinsville, they played Batavia on April 30th after they played Brookfield, Western Wisconsin in the Adidas Tournament of Champions. But every other school they played, Springfield was about the furthest north team as they played. Actually, I guess Normal was in a sectional, so that's not even part of the regular season. So
right.
They are out of the Southwestern Conference, enrollment of 1932. For Collinsville, New Trier sends this into the box and headed back out. The Trevians in the Central Suburban League, enrollment of 4,061. So, not a math major in college, but 4,061 is better than double the 1932 of Collinsville.
Yeah, which is funny because we just did the 2A game with Rochester, who had an enrollment of just over 700.
Yeah.
And it's just a one classification difference, and it's 3,300 more people.
Well, that's why when you ask Coach Kuchar, hey, you won 1A, you won 2A, do you want to go to 3A? He said, no, I think we're good here. School 5 times the enrollment in the 3A final. So here is Chase Richardson again.
I'm just rooting for New Trier to kick it out of bounds all the time so I can see these throw-ins.
Senior with 2 goals and 10 assists, and lets it fly into the box and headed back to her. And she'll let it go out of bounds and do it again.
There you go,
Brian.
Ask for and you shall receive, apparently.
A lot of college players on these rosters for Collinsville. Richardson with the throw in Missouri S&T. Alana O'Leary, number 9, is going to McKendree, which is where all of her coaches play their college soccer. This ball into the box, headed through, and out to grab it for the first time, Danny Kaufman. Hannah Liljegren, number 23, with Truman State. Emily Holton's a junior who's getting looked at by a lot of schools, including Ole Miss out of the SEC. And here is the ball knocked down and forward, and this will roll out of bounds. Let's take a look, Brian, at that last throw-in by Richardson and the opportunity that it got for Collinsville.
Yeah, it all stems from the throw, and when you can get it that deep, and it took a while before it even touched the ground. A good opportunity there for Collinsville, but New Trier did have everyone pretty much back and in good positioning, and then, as you mentioned, Kaufman able to run it down.
It'll go out of bounds, and a throw-in for Collinsville. Dale McEwen is over on that side. Daly McEwen had the goal in the second half that tied Glenbard East in the semifinal. She'll play it Francis Marion. And they bring it back. On the other side for New Trier, it's a long list for their seniors and a couple juniors that are already getting recruited as well, as they'll break through into the box and get their first chance. This one is in! New Trier's first chance of the match, and the 2-time defending state champions are out to a 1-0 lead as they got to break really against the run of play. The way that this first half has gone, it's been a lot of Collinsville possession, and they break down the side, and we'll take a look at it here for Collinsville, and getting beat back. And that's into the net and the goal for Natalie Lazar. She's one of the juniors getting some looks, and just a lot of speed there, Brian.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Look at the speed by Lazar. Really trusted herself, led herself with the dribble a little bit before, and I think Collinsville in that back line was just surprised at how fast Lazar was able to break out and able to beat her defender and get a wide-open lane and bury one in the top left-hand corner, and just a beautiful shot and a beautiful play by the Trevians.
High and into the upper corner for Lazar. That is goal number 8 on the season. She's a junior, and that's why the Trojans of USC want her to come all the way out to Los Angeles after her senior year.
Yeah, I think you could see the evidence right there. Proof is in the pudding, as they say, and that was just a tremendous play by Lazar.
You mentioned the Open. Kelly Maday, the Gatorade Player of the Year, going to play for the Illini down in Champaign next year. Avery Schultz, number 3, with Dartmouth, is where she's headed. Sam Urban, who scored off a free kick yesterday to get them on the board. The University of Wisconsin up in Madison. And then you've got the goalkeeper, Danny Kaufman, who committed to Bucknell. She's a senior and has 58 career shutouts after yesterday's semifinal win in 69 starts, 58 shutouts. That's a very impressive percentage. Katie Sedera, the University of Chicago, and Bina Scipi to DePaul, and that's a long list of seniors, and then one junior, and Lazar getting some big-time looks for college soccer. That'll happen when you win back-to-back state titles and have a chance for your third. You're going to have some players that are heading on to play Division I and Division II soccer. Left side, Collinsville. See how they react now to being down 1-0. They had a great reaction yesterday when they fell behind, and they fell behind right about the same time yesterday. There was 30 minutes and change on the clock when Paganucci scored for Glenbard East against them. Then they held tight for the rest of the first half, scored in the second. Here comes New Trier again, header on goal, and didn't get a full piece of that. It was placed perfectly in there, and Lazar did not get much power on that header.
Yeah, what a cross, though. I don't think Collinsville really expected that either, to come all the way, and perfectly placed for Lazar. As you said, though, just not enough power on it.
They get the steal in the back and clear it out near midfield. They'll knock the ball around now. That was Taylor Devine. She had a lot of touches yesterday for Collinsville. They break through and a nice defensive steal. And it'll roll out of bounds for the Trevians. And here is that cross coming in for New Trier from Yamada.
Yeah, that was just perfect.
Just a glancing header there for Lazar. Didn't get a lot of power on it. And we'll get a lot of power on this throw, though, as Chase Richardson comes over onto the track. And I'm sure she's happy that it stops raining today, because that means that track's not slippery as she gets this run up for the flip throw and puts it into the middle of the box. And this one's going to be knocked back and towards the sideline. I'll tell you what, Brian, anybody out there who watches the 2A state final, followed immediately by this 3A state final here on CSN Chicago, is going to swear that the games were on different days. I promise you, the games were on the same day, about 4 hours apart from the end of the Rochester 4-0 win to the start of this one. But the nasty rain that was here this afternoon is completely gone. You see blue skies. This thing called the sun popped out. And we get a long throw in that's punched out, headed back, punched out again by Kaufman, and shot well over. But we were down there on the field for the rain during the open. It rained throughout. There was umbrellas all over. The fans that were here for both Rochester and Deerfield were wearing hooded sweatshirts and jackets, parkas, ponchos. And here's this long throw for Richardson again.
Yeah, they did have a couple opportunities, and Collinsville's actually had the bulk of them so far, despite trailing 1-0. But to your point, I was thinking the same thing before, and I'm like, I can't believe. I'm like, was that today we did the game? But I'm like, no, I'm wearing the same suit. The hair might be a little bit different because of the rain that we sat through during that first broadcast open of the 2A game. And I know there was chances for rain and storms later on, and that all those chances just diminished, and it's turned into a perfect night for this 3A game.
Breaking through for Collinsville, getting a touch, and that might have been a handball. It was. It popped up off the foot of Frerker and caught the hand of Sedera. Take a look at it. Actually, that's not Sedera, that's Saipi, and it caught her hand in that first pop-up, and the whistle blown, which will set up this free kick. Ball right on the 20-yard line of the football field. The 18 comes across at the 8. That's how far off goal they are. Shot comes through. It's a good one. It has to be punched away by Kaufman. And now back in on goal and over. And a good, strong effort on the free kick. And Collinsville is putting pressure on New Trier as Taylor Devine runs right over it and leaves it there to be drilled by Holton.
Yeah, and if it's possible to be both frustrated and encouraged at the same time, I think you could make a case for Collinsville. Yeah, I'm sure they're bummed that they haven't been able to break through despite getting the majority of the scoring chances. However, as of right now, they know that they're there, and if they keep pressing, you'd think eventually one of these will find the back of the net, so they just got to keep firing away and not get too flustered.
And they got to be careful of these counterattacks.
Exactly.
They got caught on one, and now they're going to give away a free kick on this one. from what I saw of them in the semifinals on Friday night, working against Glenbard East, they do not deviate from their game plan. They keep doing the same things. They work for those long throw-ins by Richardson. They work for free kicks because they have a duo of Taylor Devine and Emily Holton that can blast away. Daly McEwen will come up and take the longer ones as well. They scored off of one of those high-hop longer ones here off this turf on Friday night. Here's a long kick in for New Trier. That's in on goal, and the catch is made. But on Friday, despite falling behind 1-0, just 9 minutes in, and they didn't score till there was 15 minutes gone by in the second half, but they just kept doing the same thing, and it worked for them. They won 2-1 to get to the state title game. And when you've won double-digit games in a row, as this one goes just over, you know you're doing something right. Their last loss was on April the 2nd, and I shouldn't say last loss, but their only loss this season is Lazar got to the touchline and sent this one in, but off the football upright crossbar.
Yeah, and why deviate from the game plan at this point? Nobody's been able to score on New Trier this entire state tournament, as we said in the open. Collinsville's got to feel pretty good about the chances that they've had so far. I feel like they've already had more than maybe Huntley had in the entire game last night against New Trier.
Yeah, I would say that's accurate. New Trier is playing at 25-3-1 in their 30th game. They've allowed goals in 5 of those 30. They lost to Evanston Township 2-1. They lost to St. Charles East 2-1. Tied Glenbrook South 1-1. Lost 1-0 to St. Charles North and gave up a goal when they beat Evanston the first time 2-1. Those are only 4 teams have scored against them all season.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned 2 of those losses. 2 of those teams they ended up beating en route to the state title game, and Evanston being one, and then St. Charles North later on. So I had a chance to exact a little bit of revenge even with those 2 losses.
And Glenbrook South, who they beat in the sectional semifinals, the team that they tied and scored against them then. The last time they allowed a goal was in a 2-1 loss to Evanston on May 7th. So including the semifinal win, that's 9 straight shutouts for Danny Kaufman and this Trevian's defense. And you know they take pride in that. And what they've allowed goals-wise on the season. And they won their regional 9-0 and 4-0. And in the sectional, 1 and 3-0. 1-0 in the super and 4-0 here in the state semifinals Friday night over a very good Huntley team. And now a 1-0 lead here for Coach Burnside and his squad. He was a goalie at New Trier in the 80s in his first year coaching at his alma mater. 1997, they went 26-1-1 in that 97 season for a 3rd place finish. Throw in, headed away. Knocked out towards the sideline. This is the 7th state championship game for Burnside at New Trier. They're 5-1 in the finals, looking for 3 straight. The record, 5 straight, and that's back when it was just 1 class, and it was St. Charles High School, which, as you noted earlier on the 2-way broadcast, Brian, has now been split up. So from 96 to 2000, 5 straight titles for St. Charles. 2 of those years, they were unbeaten. New Trier went back-to-back in 03 and 04, but then they lost the 05 final. That's their 1 loss in a championship game. Booted forward by Collinsville. Collinsville has been to state a handful of times, but the pair of trophies that they've taken home are both 4th place in 1988 under Dave Jenkins and last year. And a whistle here. State appearances back when it was the Elite 8 to state, and still only 4 took home trophies. They did not take one home in 89, 90, 92, 98, or 02. So whatever happens today, they're going to have the best finish, not just of Quay Smith's career at Collinsville, but in school history for girls soccer. Last year they won 20. This year they've won 22. They also won 20 in 1998. They'll take home their best trophy, best finish, and at least 22 wins. And here's a whistle that'll set up New Trier right around midfield. Take a look at that one, jumping into it. And right there, you see the handball off of Collinsville's number 20, Emma Knable. And right off of New Trier and out of bounds. Halfway through the first half, New Trier on top 1-0 over Collinsville. Here in the Class 3A state championship. Trying to join Wheaton Academy and Rochester as the girls soccer champions this season. Wheaton Academy last weekend winning in overtime, and then Rochester with a 4-0 win over Deerfield. They moved up from 1A to 2A, as Brian and I mentioned briefly earlier, and won their second straight title of their third in school history. And New Trier sends this one down. Lazar with their speed, and it's knocked out of bounds as Yamada could not get to that one. Lazar was running right down the middle. Yamada was trying to get to the sideline, and that's the combination in the exact same spots that led to the goal. Yamada down the right side, and Lazar right down the middle.
And they get on you really, really quick, as we noted earlier, and add that in with just the natural speed that the front line has, and it's dangerous. They're a threat pretty much all time. Even right now, you feel like they're a threat if they can get a quick run out.
Sent down for Taylor Devine, but that's going to roll out of bounds and go for a goal kick. Cortez sent that back to Knable and tried to push it through for Devine. Emily Holton with their 25th goal of the year in the semifinal. Taylor Devine, number 6, has 19 goals. They both scored in the super sectionals at Joliet to get them to the state finals. And then Holton scored in overtime, 7:57 to play in the second 10-minute overtime. They still had to finish out that entire 10, and they went back on defense and kept Glen Bardise from matching for the 2-1 win. Here's the throw by Chase Richardson. Gets into the box, and they couldn't bring it down, and now that's kicked out, and the question is going to be throw in or a corner. It's a throw in, so it went.
Yeah, that was tough to tell. Might as well be a throw corner, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, with Richardson, it's going to come in just like a corner kick. Maybe even a little bit higher. There's the Collinsville fans, the K-Hawk fans, bringing a lot of purple to the crowd, and you can see a lot of them trying to shield away from the sun because it's right in on the stands right now. And they're hoping that Richardson can get a throw in that leads to a goal here to get this even. Up in the air, Kaufman will catch.
Yeah, it's funny, we couldn't even see the stands or the people in the stands in the 2A game because everyone had umbrellas. And now they're shading their eyes from the sun.
Umbrellas, they were all bundled up with the parkas and the ponchos, and everybody was sitting as far back as they could to try to get shielded away from the rain. Collinsville looking down the left side. This is Richardson sending it forward. New Trier brings it back.
Pace has slowed down, it feels like, over the last few minutes, Nate, as Collinsville continues to press there. I feel like they're playing on that side of the field a lot, but no real scoring chances or threats over the last few minutes from either side. And you can almost say exclusively for New Trier, their lone real scoring chance came on their goal. So they're almost 1-for-1 in that category. And their defense seems to have tightened up a little bit over the last few minutes.
Sub in for New Trier is Kelly Maday, the Gatorade Illinois Player of the Year. Sub back in. And she's running for this one now onto the left side as they switched it up, and she'll get to it, and it gets taken down, and we might have a card. I think we will. He's calling for Danielle Knudsen to come back. And yep, there's the yellow card. She's got to leave. The automatic sub. Let's take a look at it, Brian, as Mayday on the run, and Knudsen got all body.
Yeah, that's the correct call. I know they're both going for it, but just wanted to make sure that Mayday didn't get to that one, so she'll have to exit, at least momentarily.
First card issued by Peter Stavropoulos, the match official for this one. So she has to go out. Now we've got a free kick coming in. Sam Urban scored from about this distance in the semifinal. Their first goal about halfway through. Played that one short, and I think kind of mishit it. Andrea Furker gets the interception and tries to slide it up into midfield and sit back, and little back and forth here. No harm done from the yellow card other than the fact that Knutson now has a yellow to play on for the rest of this match. Another would see her disqualified on a red card, and when you're playing the two-time defending champions and you're down one, you can't go down a player.
Interesting setup by New Trier on that last free kick, who's had a ton of success in set pieces throughout the course of the year, including the semifinal win last night. Like you said, I think just mishit a little bit. From
substitution
Urban.
For Collinsville as Knutson comes right back in after getting the yellow card. She's on the right wing. They switched it back up. Header brought down, and Holton punches it into the box. Now New Trier looking to push it forward. For New Trier, their substitution was number 9, Flower Eddington, who's headed to Illinois Wesleyan. Not a starter, so didn't have her down earlier when we went through the players headed to play on at college, but number 9, Flower Eddington, is going to play at Illinois Wesleyan. She's a senior. Collinsville pushing it forward. All that information from Coach Burnside listing all his players that are going on to play at college. The cross into the box, and that's into the side netting. And of the answers that he provided, I think that was his longest paragraph, was listing off all of his players who were going to play in college.
That was actually my first thought when I was reading the questionnaire as well. Just an impressive list. And wherever you go and play, it's impressive D1 down to D3. But even looking at that, the schools listed on this, all the D1s, we talked about U of I and Wisconsin-Madison, Dartmouth as well. So some really quality schools.
Yeah, you get Dartmouth and Bucknell to mix in there as well. And
yep.
This one flying out of bounds will be a throw-in for the Trevians with 13 minutes left in the first half of play. Caroline Iserloth with the throw-in. And it's knocked right back out, and she'll scoot up in front of the Collinsville bench and do it again.
And not just good soccer schools. We're talking some pretty prestigious academic university as well. Talked about those. University of Chicago on the list too.
Knocked right back out of bounds, so another throw-in for the Trevians. And Iserloth trying to pick out her target here. Moving the ball down the field methodically with these throw-ins and looking to get it to the box. It's headed out and right back out of bounds. So another one. Now it is the Trevians who are using the throw-in as a weapon, and into the box. Eddington got a header to it, but right to the keeper. Punted away. Fighting for it for Collinsville was Holton, couldn't win it, and they'll launch it back downfield. Header for Urban. Bouncing on the turf towards Marion, and Marion could not get to that ball, but it'll go out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in, and that means that Chase Richardson will head out onto the track and sling it in with her flip throw. Looking for the box for the senior. Launching it into the middle of the box. This one hit the ground. We've got a whistle, though, and a pushing foul against the K-Hawks. Will set it up for a free kick out of trouble for New Trier.
New Trier has been very impressive with their clears recently. Collinsville's had a deep in territory. You talk about some of the great throw-ins that continues to happen for the K-Hawks. However, New Trier has just been right there and a step ahead to clear it pretty much, or really every time before Collinsville poses a huge threat.
We got a substitution coming in for New Trier. On the sideline, that's the goal scorer from earlier, Natalie Lazar, who's subbing back in. 1-0 New Trier leads. Just about 30 of the 40 minutes gone by here in the first half. Nice cutback, but then Collinsville had enough defenders back to get it out of trouble for the time being. Oh, it's a goal from distance. Wow. All the way in. Right as I said, they cleared it out of trouble. That one floated in, kept on going. As Caroline Iserloth just launched. Let's take a look at this, Brian.
This is unbelievable. I think everyone just assumed that it was going to be sort of a non-threat, and it was just perfectly placed with the right foot. The perfect amount of arch just over the fingertips, and we'll get a great look at it right here. Somehow finds the back of the net and makes it 2-0.
Wow, 2-0 for New Trier. About 26, 27 yards out and way outside down the right line, almost between the 18 and the sideline. The amount of distance covered by that shot right after they had cleared it out of the 18 off of a nice cutback. And it's 2-0 for New Trier. They scored in the first 10 minutes of the half. They score in the last 10 minutes of the half. And really, you could argue that Collinsville's dominated the time of possession in between those two goals. But they've got nothing to show for it. A couple of shots that went just over the crossbar, and Danny Kaufman has caught or punched everything else out of the box. She's a brick wall back there anyway, and has shown that so far in the first half. Collinsville knocks it out of bounds. We'll have to see what the K-Hawks are going to do to try to open up this New Trier defense, because now they know they've got to score twice against a team that's only allowed goals in 5 of 29 previous games this season.
Yeah, and the opportunities were there early. We talk, and as early as you could possibly have one. They had one about 15 seconds in, a couple of chances a few minutes later on, and much stingier defensively from New Trier over the last several minutes now. So it seems like they've settled in as a unit. So Collinsville really got to have to scratch and claw. And if they can somehow get one before halftime, you got to feel that they're going to have a lot more momentum heading into that second half. Let's see what happens over the final 8 minutes.
Ready to send it forward here off of this free kick. Sending it into the box. Couldn't get a header to it, though, and Kaufman is there to grab it. Punting it forward and across the 50-yard line. Nice steal. Moving forward now again is New Trier. Lazar into the corner. The couple moving into the box to help her. That's going to go out of bounds for a goal kick, as Lazar could not get around the defender on that one. And a nice job by Chase Richardson. We've talked all about her long throws, but this time she shuts down Lazar in the corner.
Yeah, it was almost like a personal wall, just refused to let her turn the corner, recognizing how terrific of an offensive player Lazar is, especially after that first goal. No room to work this time around.
2-0 lead for the Trebians. Won a title last 2 years. Now a 2-0 lead here. Holton can't run out to this one. Last year they were 1 tie, 1 loss, and that was it. This year they fell 3 times in the regular season. 27-1-1 last year. And the loss last season in Naperville North was the last time they allowed 3 goals, which is what they would have to allow to lose this one outside of anything other than penalty kicks. They lost to Naperville North, the Naperville Invitational, May 1st of last year, 2015, 3-1. Long throw by Richardson again. This one into the goal, bouncing around in front of the goal, and Kaufman came out to knock that one out of harm's way. Take a look at this one as it comes flying in off of the throw-in. And Richardson's going to get another one on the side. So take a look at this throw-in that she'll get on the left side. Last time she was on the right side, she just goes all over to get these throws in. And we'll fire this one into the box. A little bit lower of a line drive, and that one dangerous. Got over the first wave. And now it's Divine well off to the right, but a great chance there as that one fell to the ground right in front of the goal.
Certainly an encouraging side for Collinsville. We get a look at the last two chances, both coming off the Richardson throw-ins. I feel like all of their chances have come off Richardson throw-ins, being pinballed around a little bit here. It did touch the turf before being punched out by Kaufman, and then the one just a moment ago, very dangerous, as you called it. Had a chance right in front of the net, and then Divine comes out. Had a decent lane here, just shanked it a little bit off to the right.
Yeah, Leary could not get a foot to it the first time through. 2-0 lead for New Trier. So here with Collinsville, they'll pass it back. Looking for the corner, can't get it through, and back into the middle of the field. Edgington gets it wide. So that rolls out of bounds. 2-0 New Trier on top. The last 4 minutes and change, and here comes another long throw from Chase Richardson into the box. Headed out by the Trevians. They've got a sub over at the sideline in the last 4 minutes of the half, in New Trier with a 2-0 lead. You're watching 3A girls soccer on CSN Chicago.
The IHSA is competition, teamwork, integrity, determination, triumph. The future plays here, the Illinois High School Association.
Welcome back to CSN Chicago. Naperville is the site. North Central College, the host. And New Trier has a 2-0 lead over Collinsville. A foul called, and we've got the clock stopped. The official, Peter Stravopoulos, is having a chat with Flower Edgington. Let's see if we're going to get a yellow card coming. Coach Burnside's asking what happened here. He's getting an explanation on the sideline, and they did not announce a yellow card, although he is definitely writing down in the book. So they sub in number 20, Bina Scipi, who is headed to DePaul. The linesman now chatting here as well. Chad Formia chatting with the main official. He stopped the clock. Went over to the sideline, talked with Coach Burnside, and now we'll get a drop ball as he's explaining this situation to Collinsville's Emily Holton and Bina Scipi, who is in there. So let's take a look at what happened on that last throw-in by Chase Richardson. She sends it into the box. Watching Edgington in the back. She got hit in the head, and I think that's why he made her leave the game. You can see it again. She immediately grabbed her head on the collision. There were two players there, and now the head official has run back over to the sideline talking to the fourth official And the opposite linesman, let's look one more time. In the back by the near post, keep an eye on Flower Edgington, who is number 9. She comes in, and they collided heads, and there she grabs her forehead. And that's one of those new issues. And now she's got ice on her head, and that's one of the new things that they've kept an eye on it. We've seen it here all weekend. We've seen it here all season. Any shot to the head, whether it comes from an elbow, a shot that knocks you down, anything like that that could lead to a possible concussion, you're going to the sidelines. If you get cleared by the trainers over there, you can come right back in. That happened in the third place game for Taryn Jakubowski of Huntley, who was out of the match for about 10 seconds because they immediately put the ball out of bounds just to get her right back in. But they did make her go out and talk to the trainer on the sideline, and that's exactly what's happened here as Flower Edgington was sent off with a medical situation because she grabbed her head off of the collision with the teammate. So better be safe. And that was what the officials were thinking as they got together. Another throw in from Richardson. Kaufman out to punch it. Comes down. Devine sends it back in. Pinballs around and cleared by Nutrier. And another good chance off the flip throws of Richardson. And nearly all of Collinsville's chances today have come off those throw-ins. And here's a foul against Collinsville's Danielle Knutson, and number 8, she's got to be careful. She's already playing on a yellow card, and here's the throw-in again. Kaufman punches it with both hands, and it comes right down to Devine for a shot that just didn't get through all those bodies. Everybody packed inside the 18. Headed out by Collinsville to Holton. She backtracks to win it. And now it's Richardson, left sideline. Last 2 minutes of the first half. Too far down the sideline and intercepted by Nutrier. Richardson will fight on the sideline, and it's out of bounds to Nutrier. So good job over on that far sideline to win a throw-in by the Trevians. They lead by 2. Iserloth, who's ready to throw it in, scored their second goal, a long-distance shot after Natalie Laser put him on top from close range. And here is a whistle, which will get the ball to Collinsville. Free kick. Headed back by Nutrier. Lazar sends it forward. Looking for a lot of space on the left side as Nutrier moves it through. Scipi lets it go. That's in! In the last minute of the half, a goal for Nutrier. And the 2-time defending state champions have a 3-goal lead. That one bounced down. The pass came over and right to the top of the 18 and picked out her corner and skipped it in perfectly. Nice pass set her up. Then she made a couple of moves and put it right into the corner of the net. And get another look at it from behind. No chance. 3-0 Nutrier as they look to three-peat. So Bina Scipi with their 3rd goal of the day for Scipi, who's headed to DePaul. That's goal number 16. She has 28 career assists, but this time she was on the scoring end. And now we're into the last 40 seconds. They scored less than 10 minutes in for goal number 1. About 9 minutes ago, they added a second, and now a third. Collinsville looking for a last-second goal of their own to take into the break. Headed forward into the 18. Pinballed around, got a good shot, but it was deflected and cleared out. So that'll send us towards halftime as New Trier takes a 3-0 lead. We got a yellow card right there at the end of the half as well. And I don't know if the official is going to let halftime come here. He's writing it down in his book, and he pointed back like there was going to be a free kick, as he definitely issued a yellow card. And they just put 1.8 up on the scoreboard clock, 1.8 seconds up on the scoreboard clock. It's number 5 for Collinsville, Courtney Martin, who is running off the field. So she got the yellow card, number 5, Courtney Martin. So that's 3 yellows, and it comes with 1.8 left, as they were battling for position, trying to get the ball in the box. And the ball set down right in the middle of the box for this free kick, but the official's still over at the sideline. He's talking to the Collinsville coach at the moment, who probably is not happy about that yellow card coming with 1.8 seconds left. So Clay Smith headed back to the sideline. 1.8 to go as they grab the yellow card. Courtney Martin. So this free kick, pretty much as soon as it is hit. And nope, they're going to put, somebody just yelled 7 seconds. Let's see what they're putting on. They're trying to figure out exactly where he blew the whistle to stop the clock. 7.4. So 7.4 is what is on the clock here to finish up the half with that yellow card. So that'll adjust the time of the yellow card too. It means it comes at 39:53, and that'll end the half. So the New Trier Trevians, who have a 3-goal lead as they try to three-peat here at North Central College. They're looking for their 21st straight postseason victory, and Coach Burnside, they're in the huddle now with New Trier with the half and a 3-0 lead. New Trier got on the board and it put 2 more in the back of the net as they look for their 3rd straight 3A state title, as the final goal from Bina Scipi putting them up 3. Halftime here at North Central College. You're watching girls 3A soccer on CSN Chicago.
Country Financial wants to know, what do you look for in a financial partner?
Somebody that has the same values as I do.
An honest person, a person of integrity.
Who could kind of lay out a step-by-step, baby-step plan.
Everyone can use a little financial guidance, and at Country Financial, we'll work with you to understand your needs and goals to help you own your future.
You can't plan a future with someone you can't trust.
Visit ownyourfuture.com to find a local Country Financial representative today.
New Trier with the 3-0 lead at halftime over Collinsville. Brian Beto down on the sideline with New Trier coach Jim Burnside. Brian?
Thanks, Nate. Coach, appreciate the time. A strong first half for your squad. You had a lot of success this year on set pieces. You scored in 3 very different ways tonight. How were you able to bust through in the first half?
You know, I think the girls are working hard. They're a tough defense to break down, but we're battling. And when you win some balls and get them through, and then some great individual effort, from our kids, and great defense from our backs.
40 minutes remaining. What's the message to the team in the second half?
Keep it up and battle, because nobody's given up at this point. Keep it up and just keep playing, doing what you do.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate the time. Good luck in the second half.
Appreciate it.
3-0 is the score. Keep it here. First half highlights coming up next. You're watching the IHSA 3A Girls Soccer State Championship on Comcast Sportsnet.
The IHSA is motivation, effort, innovation, emotion, community. The future plays here. The Illinois High School Association.
New Trier with a 3-0 lead over Collinsville here at halftime on CSN Chicago, the IHSA Class 3A Girls Championship, the last soccer game of the year for girls soccer. Let's take a look at the highlights on a beautiful night here in Naperville. And Collinsville had the chances early. Danny Kaufman up to the task on that free kick, and then the Chase Richardson throw-ins have given them multiple chances throughout the day, but they've not solved Kaufman yet. She made the catch on that one. On the other, she's had a lot of punch-outs on the throw-in. She had one there, and Taylor Devine then got a foot to it and knocked it back. Then we've got the first goal. That came from Natalie Lazar 10 minutes in. Then it was Lazar putting it in from Yamada. And then back from distance, Caroline Iserloth right over the head of Julie Sheeter. We'll get another look at how far back Iserloth was, as that one got cleared at first, and then she let it fly 2-0 right over the fingertips of the Collinsville goalie. And then headed to DePaul next year, Bina Scipi makes a nice move, top of the 18, picked out her corner, 3-0 in halftime for the two-time defending champions from New Trier. They look for their 5th title and their 3rd in a row. At halftime, they lead 3-0 back with the kickoff to start the second half after this on CSN Chicago.
The IHSA is sportsmanship, competition, pageantry, strength, respect. The future plays here. The Illinois High School Association.
The IHSA State Championships on Comcast Sportsnet are brought to you by Country Financial. Visit countryfinancial.com. Country Financial will help you build a plan with insurance and financial solutions to help you get where you want to go. Call your local rep at 1-866-COUNTRY or visit countryfinancial.com today. We're ready to start the second half here at North Central College. You're watching IHSA Girls Class 3A Soccer on CSN Chicago. New Trier with a 3-0 lead over Collinsville. As we mentioned in the open, Collinsville plays both their goalies. Nathan Believer and Brian Bito with you. And Brian, they have switched goalies. And they do this every game, so it's not just because they're down 3-0 with junior Morgan Lurch, who wears 00 as opposed to the 0 of Julie Sheeter, is in the match now here for the second half. She has allowed 8 goals on the season, and in 25 games has made just north of 40 saves. And she's going to have her hands full. We saw in the breakaways from New Trier in the first half, all of their goals were virtually unstoppable for Sheeter. And there's a look at Morgan Lurch, the junior, wears 00 as opposed to just 0. That was my question yesterday was, hey, both goalies are 0. How do I know which one? And I was told, no, they can't both be 0. One has to be 0-0, and we figured out which one that was. So there was a yellow card in the last 10 seconds of that first half. It came against number 5 of Collinsville, Courtney Martin. So they have 2 players, 5 Martin and 8 Knutson, playing on yellow cards here in the second half, and they've got a tough enough task, Brian, of erasing a 3-goal deficit against New Trier. You got to think it'd be impossible if they're down to 10 players.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, task tall enough as it is. But if you are Collinsville, and I'm sure Coach Clay Smith's message at halftime centered around, obviously we're not in the position we want to be, but we did have our chances in that first half. And it kind of came at the bookends of the half, I should say, right at the beginning, and then they had a couple of chances towards the end. Weren't able to cash in, but maybe they can break through in the second half. If they see one find the back of the net, maybe it'll open some things up for Collinsville.
Most of their chances have come off of those long throw-ins from Chase Richardson, and their first good chance, as we saw on the halftime highlights, came off of a free kick. So as long as they can push forward, you got to think they're still going to get chances either on the throw-ins or on the set pieces. But at this point, they also can't afford to allow New Trier to find the back of the net again. A 3-0 lead, 3 different goal scorers so far.
Yeah, and Jim Burnside clearly happy with his team's first half play, and rightfully so, being up 3-0 with the balance that they're able to come in with as they get another chance.
And getting it towards the box and knocked out.
And his message at halftime was more or less just just stay the course. Wants more of the same in the second half. Probably doesn't want to let down the aggression too much and become complacent. So we'll see. They have already come out and been pretty aggressive so far in the second half.
Headed back out of bounds. And another throw in for New Trier. Not many changes for the Trevians. Wouldn't expect it. They don't need to. Everything's flowing well for them again here. And this one into the box, and Lurch diving to make the save.
Yeah, as you said, the 3 goals by New Trier virtually unsavable. So, yeah, it'll be good to switch it up, have Lurch back in there. But really nothing they could do from a goalkeeper perspective in that first half. It was just great offense by New Trier.
Now it heads to the corner. And sent back, and it's going to be another corner kick. They had a couple of these in the first half, and now ready to go here in the second with the corner, and running over to take the corner, Alana O'Leary.
And here you go, first real chance of the second half. Let's see if they can get a good look off the corner.
Sent in low. Kaufman out. Got some help as well. O'Leary punches it back in. This one's going to carry all the way through the box as Taylor Devine can't get to it, and tried to muscle her way to that ball, but could not catch up with it. Here's Devine. In on goal. Right to Kaufman.
Yeah. Had an opening lane, but not a great angle. Good opportunity, though. You never know. Maybe it forces a rebound or a second chance opportunity. So a good strike. And you get a look at that last chance here.
Cut it back in on a right foot nicely.
Very good.
But Kaufman didn't have to move at that near post.
Nate, I know the deficit's much larger tonight than they faced last night, but I'm sure mentally it's got to help knowing that, hey, we can come back. We did it a night ago against a very, very good Glenbard East team. So, 3-0 against a team who hasn't allowed a goal in the tournament, very difficult. Obviously, that should go without saying, but at least they know they've overcome that hurdle of being able to come back in a game.
Well, I think you made a good point a few minutes ago that if they can get one, and that's where you could possibly see the adrenaline get going, the confidence get going, and then who knows what opens up from there. We saw on the bench for New Trier there, Flower Edgington still has the ice pack on her head as the throw bounces in from Richardson and is going to get knocked towards the sideline and go out for another corner. There's the Collinsville bench. So we might not see Flower Edgington again for New Trier. She went out towards the end of that first half after getting hit by a teammate in the head and still has that ice pack on her head on the New Trier bench. About 25 minutes later of real time with that halftime break, and you see her right there in the middle with the ice pack on her head. Here's the corner, goes all the way through, and it'll roll towards the sideline. Back into the box, and Kaufman out to get it.
Nice move by Kaufman. Really anticipated that one. Really aggressive running out of the net to make sure no K-Hawks could reach it first.
Boot to midfield. Knocking it back. And it's booted away. Now it's set up. Set up for a free kick here. They've had a couple of dangerous ones. This one's pretty far out, though. See if they can get it to the box. McEwen scored in the semifinal, her second goal of the year for the junior. Sent into the box, bounces around. New Trier able to head it out. Battling for positioning of the ball. It's out of bounds off of Collinsville, and a throw in for New Trier. Sub for the Trevians. Lazar goes out, and in is number 18 for New Trier. Except for they don't have an 18 on the roster, so Interesting change there. All right. Right down the middle. Chance at a goal, and they'll get one. Right into the box, and the first goal of the second half belongs to New Trier, and now a 4-0 lead for the Trevians. The restart gets going. And right through, that's Kelly Maday. We talked about her in the open. She's the Illinois Gatorade Player of the Year going to Illinois. And she puts that one in for the goal, her 17th of the year.
Yeah, there you said a 17 to match her 17 assists on the year, as well as we said in the open, second on the all-time New Trier assist list. This time we see the talent, we see the skill set, and why she's the Gatorade Illinois Player of the Year, and able to give now just a commanding lead for New Trier at 4-0.
4-0 lead, and kind of had a feeling the first goal of the second half would be huge. If it came for Collinsville, it would give them some adrenaline, some confidence, maybe get them going. When it comes for New Trier, and it's almost like the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure the wins came out of the sails even a little bit more, a little bit deflated for Collinsville, but New Trier just putting the pressure on, and we've seen this from them when they get that one goal, they have a tendency to be able to just break it wide open. We saw that last night in their semifinal win over Huntley after going up 1-0. Second half just blew it wide open and won by the same score as they're up right now at 4-0. So we'll see how if they keep pressing on, but a very impressive start for the Trevians here in the second half.
Collinsville did not allow more than 2 goals in any game this season. They only lost once. They tied 2. Last time they gave up 3 goals in a game was in the state semifinal last year, as they dropped it 3-1, and they gave up 3 goals in the first half. And that was to Naperville Neuqua Valley. Then they went to the 4th place game and fell in that one to Barrington. But all this season, they never gave up more than 2. In fact, they only gave up 2 goals in a game, and a loss to St. Louis Visitation Academy, a 3-2 win over St. Louis Ursuline Academy, and a 3-2 win over St. Louis Cordejesus. So they did not give up 2 goals to more than one Illinois team. They beat O'Fallon 5-2.
Right.
That's, you score 5, you
can
give up 2,
right?
So they give up 4 here today. And there's still a half an hour to go.
Yeah, you got to wonder how different, if at all, this game would really be if Collinsville would have scored on one of those early chances in the first half. Even the opening 15 seconds, if they were able to plant one in the back of the net, it might have been the complexion of this match might be a lot different. But as it stands, they couldn't quite break through, and I'm sure they were a little bit flustered as a result. And New Trier, it seems like, is cashing in almost every opportunity that comes in front of them.
Had that opportunity 15 seconds in, then had a free kick that was blasted right at Kaufman. And then a goal against the run of play for the first one, the one scored by Lazar off the feed from Yamada, one that was just kind of thrown in from distance, and it was almost like you didn't even think they were in range, and all of a sudden it goes in. It's like when somebody hits a half-court shot in basketball, unless it's Steph Curry, because obviously he's in range from half-court, but, you know, anybody else that just throws it in when you think that, oh, the play's over, the shot clock's done, they're at half-court, no problem, and then it goes in. They're breaking through, looking for more, right into the middle of the box. A big save by Lurch. Got a hand on it. Knocked it out of bounds. What a save.
That was a tremendous save by Lurch. The reaction time was just on point. Did you get another look? That was centered right toward the middle of the box. That's a great feed. And Lurch didn't have a lot of time. I believe it was her, not the post, that got a hand on it. Equally effective either way. It was the post.
Oh, it was the post.
Great save either way. Didn't find the back of the net.
Slow motion gets the best of us, right?
Exactly.
And that'll go out for a goal kick. She was diving for it, and we've seen between the crossbar and the post today some major saves that happened in the 2A game where both Rochester once, Deerfield twice rung the crossbar, and then in the 3A third place game, a penalty kick smoked that same goal, the other post, in regulation from Jake Kubowski of Huntley, drilled the post, and then in the penalty kicks that decided third place, which was won by Gwen Bardise, either the post or the crossbar was hit twice, but one of those went in and extended the match for Gwen Bardise, and they won it 2 kicks later. They would have been done if that didn't hit the post and go in. And it somehow hit the right post, went all the way across the goal and into the left netting. One of the more incredible goals of the 2 weekends that we've been up here at North Central College.
Yeah, you sometimes you'll see that in hockey. It reminds me of the Blues Blackhawks series this year where one post hits the other. But in soccer, it has to travel all the way that distance on the other side and almost hit that other post. Huntley was almost celebrating, thinking that they were going to win. And that was over, but it somehow hit the post and ricocheted in. But you're right, the post and crossbars have certainly been worked throughout this weekend.
They seal it here, moving forward. Looking to hit a cross all the way through, and we'll keep on rolling to the sideline, and kept in bounds by New Trier. Still working hard to get every possession, and they'll win a corner off of it. That was nicely done over on that far sideline. Little push. Couldn't even stop her. Right back down the touchline and fires it off for the corner.
Yeah, I'm shocked they were able to keep that in bounds. And New Trier, not only that, but makes the smart play, tries to center it, knowing probably worst case scenarios, you're going to get a corner there.
Sent in. And right back out. This will go for a goal kick. That one kind of bounced through the box. And New Trier will sub. They couldn't get that one on goal.
Yeah, I'm surprised that one was able to navigate all the way to the weak side post based on where it landed through a sea of Trevians and K-Hawks. And New Trier had a great angle, did get a touch on it, wide right.
New Trier sends it back. Trying to get on the attack again. Collinsville had a lot of the possession in the first half, Brian. Not nearly as much here in the second half. The midfield's being completely dominated now by the Trevians.
Oh, 100%. It's even though New Trier's been dominant in both halves.
Long blast is over the box. And over the goal, too, is from outside the box, trying the long-range shot.
Yeah, so even though that they've been dominant both halves, as I was saying, as you get another look at this blast yet again by the Trevians, it's been a different feel because in the first half, a lot of New Trier's offense came on counters and plays almost out of nowhere. In this second half, it's just been dominating possession, or time of possession, and we've seen more of that here over the last couple of minutes.
Here's Lazar down the sideline. Moving in, knocked away. She'll go get it near the touchline. Brings it back towards the top of the 18 and knocked away. The numbers from the press box on New Trier are not always the easiest to read, especially you get the ponytail that might block a digit, but you can tell Lazar when she's running down the sideline with those bright green shoes. It's easy to see where Natalie is. And here's a foul that'll set it up for Collinsville. Foul against Hannah Arment, number 19. She was heading back towards the sideline to get set up defensively, and this will go out of bounds for a New Trier throw-in.
Yeah, and you said the midfield play has been really dominant. We've seen all facets of this game dominated by New Trier. We talked about the midfield play, especially in the second half, been really strong. Obviously, the offense and the speed was showcased in the first half. But again, the defense, a team that, again, as we've said over and over throughout the course of the broadcast, is not a lot of goal in this entire state tournament. It's barely been scored upon all year, for that matter. And all three phases of the game, it's just been showcased beautifully by the Trevians.
Now it's sent back on the right side and will go down the middle for New Trier. shot from distance is well wide. For nothing. They won 4-0 in the semifinals as well. Back on the wing now for Nutcher. Back into the box, and Lurch will come get it.
You look at Collinsville, when they've had their most success and they have pressed on, it's been from those throw-ins from Richardson, and those have been really not much of a factor here in the second half as they were the first. You're doing a good job not only keeping it in bounds, but they've just been possessing the entire time.
Yeah, they haven't had the ball in the attacking third to get a throw-in.
Yeah.
They move it that way now. Nice move. Shot in on goal. Just over the crossbar for Collinsville as they press forward trying to get a goal. New Trier's got a goal here in the second half. 4 on the night and a 4-0 lead as they close in on a third straight championship. You're watching IHSA Girls Soccer on CSN Chicago.
Country Financial wants to know, what if you could own your future?
I mean, I would spend it with family and friends.
Travel more.
Retire.
Can make decisions that aren't fear-based about money.
At Country Financial, we take the time to get to know you so we can develop a plan with insurance and financial solutions to help you take charge of where you want to be.
Have that fear removed from my mind.
To help you own your future.
To be in control of your future.
Visit ownyourfuture.com to find a local Country Financial representative today.
Welcome back on CSN Chicago, the IHSA Class 3A Girls Soccer Championship, and New Trier's got a 4-0 lead over Collinsville. Pushing forward is Collinsville, trying to break through, and Holton kept working for that one, and we've got a whistle, and the referee was going to let advantage play on, but then New Trier won the ball, and he blew the whistle, so Holton will come back and set up here outside of the 18 a few yards. And ready to put this in. She drove one that Kaufman had to punch out in the first half. Two-person wall. Keeps it low, but too far left. Out for a goal kick.
Aimed for that near side post. Went to her left of that two-person wall. Tried to score directly, just skidded a little too far left. Kaufman might have been there anyway.
Oh, she covers just about the entire goal. You look at her career numbers, and you make 69 starts and have 58 shutouts.
Is that good?
Yeah, seems to be good. 14 this year, 17 last year. Came into the tournament with the 0.32 goals allowed per game, and New Trier pushing forward to look for a fifth, but it'll roll out of bounds. So a goal kick here for Collinsville. Push back, New Trier sent back across midfield. Collinsville put some pressure on. That kick did not clear out. It hit Devine and hit Holton, excuse me, and they could not corral it. So out of bounds for a throw in, and that'll set up Richardson again for another flip throw. Still think we got to get you to try one of these, Brian.
Oh, man. No, like I said, nobody wants that.
Right in the middle of the box.
Pick me up to the hospital tonight.
Headed down, it goes through. I want to see if Richardson can throw one normal. You do so many of those. I wonder if you can go back to just a normal regular throw in.
I know.
Back near midfield, and a whistle and a foul will set up Collinsville with a free kick right inside of the New Trier half. sending it into the box. Over the head. Or teammate and headed out by Nutrier. Back to midfield. Richardson kicks it forward. Brought down for Collinsville. That's Furker. Furker very active in the semifinal win, especially in the second half. She was all over the midfield. Collinsville sends it in, but that'll go out of bounds, be a goal kick. Sub in for Nutrier. That's 15. Celia Fry, starter back in. Fry scored off a free kick in the semi yesterday. She had 2 goals in the 2015 state semifinals as well, so she scored on this field a handful of times as a senior. And out of bounds for a throw-in for Nutrier.
Yeah, but interesting to see when both coaches start to empty the benches a little bit. Still 17 and a half minutes to play, but we saw in the 2A game how seniors had good opportunity to play. We almost saw an entire hockey line change.
We saw an 11 for an 11 change
that's
at
true.
one point for Deerfield. Yeah, and you're right, a chance to get players in and play in a state championship game, especially for Collinsville. They had there's a shot from distance that'll bounce in, grabbed by Lurch, but they had a 2-1 overtime win, so they didn't have that luxury in the semifinal to get players in that then have the opportunity to say not only were they on a roster, but they played at state. Nutrier did yesterday. They had a 4-0 win against Huntley just like they have today, and an opportunity to get players in. They did change their goalie late in the semifinal game yesterday as well and got a lot of different players into that match. But Collinsville had to go into the 20 minutes of extra time and overtime to get the win. And now we do actually, as we're mentioning it, see Collinsville subbing in 3 at the same time as they sub in numbers 13, 14, and 15, and those are 3 players we've not seen today. Kelsey Delisle is a senior, Cajun Jones is a senior, and Riley Harris is a sophomore. They push forward down the sideline. And booted right out of bounds, so that'll send Chase Richardson over for the throw-in.
And even with Collinsville coming up short in this state title game, still quite the run. We talked about 19 straight without a loss. Only 1 loss this year. We need to keep correcting ourselves with saying that. The only loss.
Here is Holton that comes free from Kaufman, and she'll win a corner. So Kaufman got a hand on it but couldn't catch it, and gives Collinsville an opportunity as Holton got to it. Yeah, 1 loss, and it came to a team from St. Louis. 2 ties in there, so they came into Naperville with the 15-game win streak and a 18-game without a loss streak, and then added to that with the overtime win on Friday. And into the box, knocked down. Holton couldn't get to it. On the way out, it hit Jones and then gets sent all the way back to midfield, where Liljegren got a foot to it, and it'll be a throw-in for the K-Hawks on the sideline.
Yeah, and even so, it's going to be the best finish ever for Collinsville. We talked last year about the 4th place finish, and then the late 80s, the other 4th place finish. So a chance to play in this state championship game, and again, this team will go down as the best girls soccer team in Collinsville history.
Nutrier with Lazar, and she goes down, and we'll have a whistle here.
Hope she's okay.
Lazar got hit across the midsection there, and a couple teammates checking on her. She scored the first goal from Haley Yamada less than 10 minutes into the match.
She wants a little space. Hopefully it's just something along the lines of the wind getting knocked out of her. We'll take another look.
Jumping in, kind of got an elbow right to the gut.
Yeah. You obviously hope that it's the case, and just have some time to catch her breath, and hopefully she'll be okay, be able to continue.
Goes Burnside out there. They got 4 athletic trainers from New Trier, and yeah, you can see she's just fighting to catch her breath at the moment. And here's another look at it from a different angle. Yeah, leaping right in, caught the elbow right to the stomach. For Lazar, she scored the first goal off a beautiful pass on the right wing from Haley Yamada, and she slotted home past Sheeter for the first goal, and then they got 2 more in the first half to take a 3-0 lead into halftime. Grab goal number 4 here in the second half to the Gatorade Illinois Player of the Year, Kelly Maday. And actually, if you look at their stats coming into the season, their goal scorers here in the championship game would pretty much be who you'd have expected. Maday now with their 17th goal. Lazar, who's to her feet with their 8th goal. Yamada with assist number 10, so she was involved in that first one. Scipi with goal number 16. And then the only one who's not among their goal-scoring leaders is Caroline Iserloth, because that was her first of the season. Right. And it kind of came from distance, and she just said, I'll put it in from here, about 25 yards out, let's see what happens. And it went right over the head of the Collinsville goalie for goal number 2. So Lazar kind of holding her right side as she walks off the field. And it's a free kick for New Trier, just under 14 minutes to play.
Yeah, it looks like that was the case. Maybe the wind just got knocked out of her, which is good news. Not that it's a fun experience,
right?
But glad nothing serious.
This one in on goal, and it was wide. It was over the head of Lurch. It was touched. That back line. Let's get a look at this one.
Look at the power.
Yep, definitely got a hand to it. So it's a corner kick coming up for the Trevians. A lot of distance. That was a good 40 yards from goal. Now the corner coming in. Lurch will get hands on this too, and then it's booted out of the 18 box. And a chance for a counterattack from Collinsville. They break with numbers, looking up ahead. Trying to run into the corner with it, but knocked out of bounds before Taylor Devine could work it up ahead to Riley Harris. So here comes Chase Richardson for another throw-in. That one kind of went straight in the air on her, and a whistle inside the box anyway is going to be a foul against Collinsville. That one didn't have as much distance on it as we've seen, but we've seen, what, probably 20 of them today, and that's the first one that kind of went straight up in the air?
Yeah,
I think that percentage.
Yeah, exactly. Like we talked about math major last time, 95%, not bad, 19 out of 20. So, yeah, I think that one just kind of slipped off the hand a little bit.
That would be 1 out of 20 for me, so.
Yeah, I'd be 0 out of 20. I'm confident in saying that.
You already told us that. Here on the, actually, I don't think you'd get to the 20 chances. I think it's what you covered earlier. You'd have one. You'd be 0 for 1 and in the emergency room. Here comes Collinsville, trying to push forward again. Down the sideline, headed backwards. And it's cleared across the touchline for a corner kick. Davis put it in front. Got a leg to it, but cleared out by New Trier. Back comes Collinsville on the right side. Drop back, shot in. Kaufman is there for it.
Good resilience by Collinsville, certainly not giving in, trying to break through, get on the board here. I've had a couple of good chances over the last few minutes, but really starting to press on. Everyone's pretty much up at this point. See if they can get on the board.
And a foul call to give Collinsville a free kick. And let's take a look at the ball that comes in. The shot hit nicely. But again, most of the shots that have come in for Collinsville, Kaufman hasn't had to move left to right to make the saves.
And that was a short hop, so a good job to not allow a rebound chance. There's
Same thing,
Same thing, right at her.
It speaks a lot about her positioning, too.
100%.
On these free kicks, on the corner kicks, she knows where she needs to be and where her defenders are and where the holes are, and she's got it covered. That's why she's about to have 59 career shutouts. This one back into the box and picked up there by Lurch. She's got 10 minutes left to get to that 59th career shutout, and this is her 70th game at New Trier for the senior headed to Bucknell. Knocked back. New Trier will push it forward again. Career shutouts is number 1. She became the goalie at New Trier with the most games played yesterday in the semifinals with their 69th game at goalie. Second best on the goals against average at 0.34. 04 to 06. Ferguson at 0.29. Which helps because in 2004, she allowed 3 goals all season.
Speechless. It's just unbelievable. Some of these numbers have been rattling off. It's just how dominant some of these teams have been for this New Trier program.
Headed back across the sideline and out of bounds. That 04 team was 30-0. And that was on the heels of a 28-0-2 season to win the title in 03. That was the run where they made 4 straight state titles. Lost 4 games in 4 years. They won 3 of those 4 state titles. Didn't win the third one, though. That's when they lost in the championship game, 6-3 to Neuqua Valley.
Had a really down year that year, huh?
Yeah, right. So this would be their first three-peat. I mentioned earlier St. Charles, 1996 to 2000, won 5 straight. As we take a look at that elbow. And foul against Daly McEwen. And the officials chatting on the sidelines here.
I'm not sure the discussion. The clock has stopped. I don't even know who they're awarding possession to.
Well, it looked like the foul was called against McEwen, but now he's holding it as if we're going to have a drop ball situation on possession. 5 titles for New Trier, 8 for St. Charles is the most, and they won all those between 1990 and 2000, including 5 in a row, and New Trier moving up that list, winning the last 2, and now looking for their 6th, and there's the drop ball. It's just kicked backwards by New Trier and give possession to Collinsville, so good sportsmanship there as the ball was in Collinsville's possession as the whistle blew, and we'll have a offsides. The official standing back even with the 40-yard line had the flag straight up in the air. And I think that for Collinsville, Kaylee McSpadden disagreed with that assessment, the way she had her arm up pointing across the field. She thought a defender all the way across the field kept her onside. Here is Sam Urban ready to put it back in play with 7.5 minutes to go in the 3A state championship game.
And we know she's got some torque behind that leg as well with how she scored yesterday from distance, her first goal of the season. There's just so much power from this New Trier lineup, both in front and in back.
Ready to put it back in play here are the Tribunes again at midfield. Urban will send this one forward. It bounces all the way through to the box and in on it for New Trier, leaving it back. Shot on goal is high, and another good opportunity for the Trevians right in the middle of the box off a free kick from midfield, and it was last touched out of bounds by Collinsville, and will be a a corner kick here.
Yeah, that was a great dump off, and didn't even realize at first it was deflected. Another chance as we see some more substitutions coming in for New Trier,
including the goalkeeper. That happened yesterday as well. Danny Kaufman, the senior, is done, and Michelle Sokol is in, and the ball comes out to the top of the box, kicked back in, and cleared out. So a new goalie out there for New Trier. In fact, both teams now with goalies who didn't start the game, but Collinsville does that every single game. So that was planned, and just booted out near midfield.
Yeah, and I heard the New Trier crowd earlier when they built this commanding lead. They were chanting, "We want Michelle." So when she did come in, that's what you heard, the roar of the crowd. They're all psyched. They got what they wanted, a chance to see that keeper coming in, especially with this 4-0 lead.
Well, she's also a senior, so both their goalies are seniors and playing in her last game as well. And she's seen action now in 11 games this season and has not allowed a goal. And it's cleared out by New Trier. You know they want to keep that clean sheet here over the last 5 minutes in this state title game. They have not allowed a goal since losing 2-1 to Evanston on May 7th. It's about to be 34-0 to finish the season. This one booted into the box and cleared out for the moment by Collinsville. They beat Neuqua Valley 2-0 in the final last year. Beat St. Charles East 1-0 the year before, so it could be their third straight shutout and a state championship game as well. Nice move, heading down into attacking position, knocked out for another corner.
Yeah, New Trier almost playing keep away now.
Well, that was all Kelly Maday, and she'll serve up the corner. She kind of danced around there between the sideline and the 18 and won a corner, set it down, ready to put it in play. Found a teammate's head, but just over the bar on that header from Scipi.
Yeah, that was a really good look. Excellent corner from Maday. Found a head and squared it up pretty good. Just a little too hard, a little too good.
Right between the uprights. New Trier winning possession off of the goal kick and then lose it out of bounds on that far sideline. Less than 10 minutes into this match, New Trier got the first. Then with about 10 minutes to go in the first half, they got their second. That back-breaking goal, Brian, might have been the one that came in the last minute of the first half. You thought you were going to go into halftime down 2-0, where one goal would completely turn the match and the momentum back in your favor. And then with about 48 seconds to go, all of a sudden it's 3-0 on a great move by Scipi.
Yeah, I totally agree. It felt 2-0. That it wasn't insurmountable. We knew it was going to be an uphill battle for Collinsville if that was the case. But they did have chances, as we talked about throughout the course of the broadcast, in that first half, early on and then towards the tail end of that first half. But for New Trier to get that third goal and go up certainly had to be deflating and frustrating, and almost like you said, the backbreaker for Collinsville and the winning moments of that first half.
They added a fourth here in the second half of play from the Illinois Player of the Year. Might as well get a goal in her last high school game before she heads down to Champaign to play for the Illini. You see right there the New Trier bench, they're all standing. And in 2 minutes and change, they'll be sprinting out onto the field to celebrate a three-peat, and it looks like Natalie Lazar is okay. She's over there high-fiving and hugging the goalie Danny Kaufman right now. So after taking that shot to the midsection, having to be helped off the field. She was over with the trainers at the table behind the benches for a few minutes, but now back on the bench with their teammates. Hasn't come back into the game, but don't really need to either when it's 4-0. New Trier gets possession. They move it to the right side, and now Collinsville will lose it out of bounds. Back in and headed out for another throw-in. 10 seniors on this New Trier squad with 3 state titles. That's how they finished the career. Sophomore, junior, and seniors. Freshmen, they lost in the sectional final. They lost in 4 years, 9 games. Tied 6, lost 9. And with this victory today, a 3rd straight state title, but their win totals by class 16, 31, 27, and about to be 26. So it's pretty good, right at 100? 100 wins in 4 years?
Yeah. Nice round number. Why not?
109 and 100 wins, 9 losses, 6 ties. And 3 of those medals that say state champion. That's for the senior class. From New Trier High School, Coach Burnside getting his 6th first place trophy. They're behind only St. Charles, who has 8, but those were all back in the 90s. And now New Trier has a 3-peat. They never had a 3-peat before. They now have a 3-peat. They get their 3rd straight state title. They've all been via shutouts, and they won both games here this weekend by identical scores of 4-0. They finish off the season having outscored opponents 98-7. Only allowed goals in 5 games this year, and Evanston had them in 2 of those games, so only 4 opponents allowed goals. On the other side, Collinsville with their first loss to a team from Illinois this year, and it comes in the state championship game. Best season in school history for the K-Hawks, 22-2-2. But there are your state champions once again, the Trevians from New Trier with the 4-0 win.
Yeah, just a remarkable effort by New Trier. They were great in all 3 facets, like I said earlier. And hats off to Collinsville for their season. Just 2 losses on the year. First time they've been beaten in 20 contests. But New Trier just the better team tonight, and they deserve it. And a 3-peat for the first time in school history.
They finished the season with a remarkable run, did not give up a goal after the regional started. So they celebrate a 3rd straight state title. Brian will have the chat with the coaches and the players from New Trier as they get their trophy and their medals. New Trier wins another state title, a 4-0 win over Collinsville on CSN Chicago.
The IHSA is success, teamwork, overcoming adversity, dedication, tradition. The future plays here, the Illinois High School Association.
The IHSA State Championships on Comcast Sportsnet are brought to you by Country Financial. Visit countryfinancial.com. Country Financial will help you build a plan with insurance and financial solutions to help you get where you want to go. Call your local rep at 1-866-COUNTRY or visit countryfinancial.com today.
For the 2016 Girls Class 3A Soccer State Final, Mr. Jim Miller, Athletic Director from North Central College, Matt Klusterman, head men's soccer coach at North Central College, and Beth Sauser, the IHSA administrator responsible for girls soccer, will be giving out the medallions and trophies. At this time, please meet the K-Hawks of Collinsville High School, who finished the 2016 season in 2nd place with a final record of 22 wins and 2 losses and 2 ties. First, meet the principal of Collinsville High School, Mr. David Snyder. Athletic Director Darren Lee. Trainer Amanda Barrer. The head coach Clay Smith. The assistant coach Jody Munoz. Assistant coach Robert Luigi. Manager Jelani Gonzalez. 0, Julie Scheiter. Double 0, Morgan Lurch. Number 2, Jalen Richardson. Number 3, Kitty Besterman. Number 4, Lauren Zamaroni. Number 5, Courtney Martin. Number 6, Taylor Devine. Number 7, Bianca Cortez. Number 8, Daniel Knutson. Number 9, Elena O'Leary. Number 10, Chase Richardson. Number 11, Emily Holton. Number 12, Kelsey Markusich. Number 13, Kelsey Delisle. Number 14, Kadrin Jones. Number 15, Riley Harris. Correction, Riley Harris. Number 16, Andrea Fricker. Number 17, Savannah Rowe. Number 18, Kaylee McSpadden. Number 19, Daly McEwen. Number 20, Emma Knoebel. Number 23, Hannah Liljegren. At this time, please meet the Trevians of New Trier High School, who finished the 2016 season in first place with a final record of 26 wins, 3 losses, and 1 tie. First, meet the principal of New Trier High School, Ms. Denise Dubravik. Athletic Director, Randy Oberent. And before we go any further, our congratulations to Randy as he is retiring from New Trier this year. We would like to thank you for your great service at New Trier and here at the state. Thank you. Okay. The trainer, Jordan Anderson. Head coach, Jim Burnside. Assistant coach, Daniel Rogan. Assistant coach, Molly Lombardi. Assistant coach, Craig Fairburn. Number 0, Michelle Sokol. Number 1, Danny Kaufman. Number 2, Sam Urban. Number 3, Avery Schultz. Number 4, Megan Murdoch. Number 5, Caroline Iserloth. Number 6, Hope Beasley. Number 8, Jen Fishman. Number 9, Flower Eddington. Number 10, Haley Yamada. Number 12, Natalie Lezer. Number 13, Nicole Caspi. Number 14, Amanda David. Number 15, Celia Fry. Number 16, Kelly Maday. Number 18, Lily Conley. Number 19, Hannah Arment. Number 20, Bina Scipi. Number 21, Katie Sedera. Number 22, Whitney Hoban. And number 24 is Sydney Parker. Will Coach Smith and captains from Collinsville High School please step forward to receive the second place trophy? Congratulations, girls, on a great season. And now, will Coach Burnside and captains from New Trier High School please step forward to receive the first place trophy for the 2016 Girls 3A State Soccer Championship.
New Trier wins another state title. They knock off Collinsville 4-0, as you saw here on CSN Chicago, the IHSA Class 3A State Championship, and a three-peat for the Trevians. Let's see how they won another state title, and the first goal coming from Natalie Lazar. She put that into the back of the net, breaking free down the right side for the one-goal lead. Then Caroline Iserloth, when it looked like Collinsville had cleared it, let it fly from distance and got it into the back of the net, into the corner for a 2-0 lead. Then late in the first half, it looked like it would be 2-0 going in to halftime. Bina Scipi lets it go just outside the 18, bounces it into the corner for a 3-0 lead, and Kelly Maday put it away early in the second half with her goal. She had them in state here last year. She gets one today and a 4-0 lead. Not to be outdone, Danny Kaufman picking up another shutout, couple of saves, and the Trevians celebrate for the third year in a row. The seniors going out in style with a three-peat in 3A of state championships for New Trier and Coach Jim Burnside. So they win again, another shutout, 4-0 in the semifinals and 4-0 in the state finals as well. They get their trophy, they get their pictures taken with that trophy, and another state title for New Trier. A 4-0 win here today in Class 3A. Brian Vito down on the field has Coach Burnside and New Trier players as well. Brian, take it away, buddy.
Thanks, Nate. Down on the field now with Coach Burnside and Danny Kaufman, three-time state champions in a row, I should add. And Coach, talk about the total team effort tonight. You get a shutout, another shutout. You don't allow a goal throughout the entire state tournament. You get 4 goals. You get some dominant midfield play as well. Can you talk about the balance on this team, not just tonight, the whole year, really?
Yeah, it's a team that people step up when they need to step up, and through this playoff run, everybody has stepped up. I can't tell you how impressed I've been with their heart and their effort, and we got some kids that are banged up, but they just put themselves out there and play with such passion, and they play for each other, and that's what a team does.
3 straight state championships, I'm sure all special in their own way. What's sort of unique or different about this year, though?
I think what's unique is it is the 3rd in a row. It's hard to win one. It's hard to win back-to-back, and it says a lot about the attitudes of the kids being able to stay focused and put themselves towards the job they wanted to accomplish. And this was it. This has been a goal all the way through. So I'm almost speechless, which seldom happens.
Congratulations again. Thanks for the time.
Thanks so much.
And Danny, our Country Financial player of the game, 15 shutouts for you this season, 59 in your new career. Can you talk about how were you able to accomplish that this year and what your teammates have done as well?
I think it's really been a team effort. They give me a lot of support, and when I see Bina, Sydney, Sam winning those 50-50 balls, it gives me the confidence to go out. And they had a really special flip throw, and it was just kind of going out there and being able to win the ball, but also having my back in the goal. My defenders, whenever I went up, they're always right behind me, and I can't ask for anything more.
So 3 state championships for you personally as well. I'm sure all super cool, but isn't it awesome to go out on top as a senior?
I think for me, it's just an unbelievable feeling. Like Burnside said, I'm speechless. This is just something that, you dream about it as a kid. You hear about professional players that win state championships, and the one person I kept thinking of was Abby Wambach, who has never won a state championship in her high school career, and she still talks about it at 38 years old. And I think for me, it was kind of to have that final state championship, and with this team, it just made everything so much special, and it was just amazing.
Well, congrats again. Go celebrate with your teammates.
Thank you so much.
Nate?
Thanks, Brian, and thanks to Danny Kaufman and Jim Burnside for joining us as well. The Trevians get their 3rd straight state championship. It's their first three-peat. They now have 6 titles in school history. Goals from Natalie Lazar, Caroline Iserloth, Bina Scipi, and from Kelly Maday, getting that 4th one in, and the Trevians get their 3rd title in a row. Thanks for watching IHSA Girls Soccer. For our producer, Russ Leonard, and our crew from Rush Media, Brian Beto, my partner, I'm Nathan Believa for IHSA Soccer on CSN Chicago.